Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I've got a short and sweet video for you today. If you haven't seen my content before, my name is Cassie Amber and I'm a plant-based holistic nutritionist. So today I wanted to take you through 10 special foods or ingredients that I use in my cooking. And just a quick announcement before we get into the video. I just launched my new podcast, so I'm so excited. So if you search up Plant Powered on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, will pop up. You'll see my photo there. So it's going to be all things, not just plant-based, like stuff about women's wellness, but also a lot of stuff about plant-based dieting, misconceptions and myths and what people are doing wrong, and just really helping you navigate through the nutrition world through a holistic and easy and fun approach. So that's the goal with that. So go check it out. I hope you love it. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more nutrition and wellness content, and let's get into the video. So number one, coconut aminos or tamari. So this is basically a lower sodium version of soy sauce, so it's really good to add a little bit to stir fries. Or I have recently been using an air fryer because my flatmates got one. So I haven't cooked many things in there yet, but I've been cooking cubes of tofu in there, and I've got this really soft tofu. It's from like an Asian brand, and it kind of just melts in your mouth. And when I cook it in the air fryer, I just add a tiny bit of tamari onto the top of the tofu so it kind of sinks in, makes it really amazing. So yeah, it's really great to just add flavor to your veggies and stuff, and it just means that you're consuming less salt than if you bought the normal soy sauce. Number two is rice malt syrup. It's basically a thicker version of maple syrup. I just really like the flavor of it. It still does have sugar in it, and your body still metabolizes it as sugar, but it's kind of just like a more natural version. It's got a really nice flavor, and you don't really need much, to be honest. So the only times I'd use it is if I was making oats and wanted a tiny drizzle of something on top, or to use it in raw slices and baking as well. And the only ingredient in that is organic brown rice, so at least it's got no other additives and nothing else added that you need to be aware of. Number three is cacao. This has been the oil that has been my savior for the last few years. I would not eat as many veggies if I didn't have this, and I'll have to do a dedicated video on this, on how to make veggies taste nice. But I would not eat like frozen veggies just cooked in the pot, like boiled. To me, that's disgusting. So sorry if that's how you eat your veggies, but I honestly think the flavor and texture is absolutely revolting done like that. So I would use frozen veggies if it was like I've used them in a vegan chicken pot pie, but just to make stir fries and stuff, which is one of the main meals that I live off, I always buy broccoli or purple cauliflower just because I like the color of that one more, or I buy zucchini, or I buy kale, sometimes silver beet. It's really important to always switch up your veggies, and just adding a spoonful of this oil, it makes it so crunchy, and it gives it like this soft bit of like fattiness to it, but it feels really good to ingest. It doesn't feel like an unhealthy fat. It feels very satisfying to eat. And the oils that they have are already infused with flavors. So there's chili and lime, turmeric and lemon, coriander, lime and ginger, plain or light. And I just have all of them at my pantry. They even sent me some over to Australia, and I'm still getting through them. So I have kind of like 4 tubs on the go at one time, and that lasts me 4 to even 6 months. So it lasts quite a long time, and it's just a really good investment. And I know people worry about oil and stuff, but if you add a little bit of something to your cooking, and if that allows you to eat more of a healthy food, then it definitely like outweighs the negatives. Oil is high in calories and it doesn't provide like nutritional benefits, but the cacao oil, because it's crossed with avocado and coconut, it's got a higher smoke point, so it doesn't oxidize when you're cooking it, so it makes it healthier for your body. And another dish I really love it for, I've really started getting into kale, which took me years and years to actually like. So I just massage the raw kale with the oil, and it really just helps soften the leaves, and it just makes it taste so delicious. I can eat half a bunch of kale at once. Number 4 is nutritional yeast, which is basically a dairy-free version of cheese. It kind of looks and tastes like cheese flakes. It's a great source of protein, and it also has B12, which is important if you're a vegan. So this is great to add to stir fries, sprinkle on top of avocado toast. You can add it to soups. I make mac and cheese pasta sauces out of it, so it's just a lifesaver if you really want that cheesy texture, but maybe you can't handle dairy, or maybe you don't want the calories of what cheese has. Number 5 is Nuzest protein. So I've been an ambassador for them for years. It's the cleanest protein pretty much that you can find. It's only got 3 ingredients. I always have the vanilla just because it's so versatile. You can add it to any flavor. So I use this in cooking because it's a great way to sweeten food. Say if you're doing a sweet slices, like I made a cookie dough slice when I had the food truck, and it was made out of blended chickpeas, peanut butter, tahini, almond meal, rice malt syrup, and vanilla protein powder. So you don't need to add, like the rice malt syrup gave it a bit of sweetness, but you don't need to add sugar to give it like the sweet, satisfying taste. I've also been getting into these very interesting breakfasts from my Eat from the Earth meal guide. So I do a peanut butter breakfast quinoa, which people would never assume to make quinoa for breakfast, but I make it sweet instead of savory. So I cook it in some coconut or plant-based milk, add a dab of peanut butter, and then once it's absorbed the liquid, stir through a little bit of vanilla protein, and it's like this thick vanilla peanut buttery dessert for breakfast. High in protein, amazing. And then this week, gosh, I just made the most delicious thing. Protein mocha brown rice porridge. So another savory thing that people would never really have for breakfast. I cooked it in a bit of coconut milk and a bit of water. Add a tablespoon of cacao powder, a tablespoon of instant coffee, and wow, it was so good. Just this delicious carby breakfast because we had a few rainy and chillier mornings over here. And then once it was cooked, stir through a spoonful of Nuzest vanilla protein, and it just thickens it up and like makes it so sweet. It just tastes absolutely amazing. So I do have discount codes. If you're in New Zealand, it's Cassie15, or Australia is CassieA15. So I highly suggest that protein if you're looking for a plant protein that's not so gritty or something that doesn't hurt your stomach. It's got a great flavor profile, doesn't have a sandy texture. It's just absolutely amazing. I love it. Number 6 is alternative pastas. Personally, I don't buy or consume white pasta because I can't handle the gluten in it, but I do really notice such a big difference when I used to have like a fettuccine or a macaroni cheese, or just having any kind of dish with it in. I would feel so bogged down, and it makes you really tired, and you just get a sore stomach. And for me, once I made the switch, I buy the Pulse pasta made from chickpeas. Last night I made a dish, a pesto coconut creamy dish with buckwheat pasta. I've also tried black rice and chia fettuccine, which was so interesting, and I've also tried hemp rigatoni. I just love all of these alternative things. So they are much higher in fiber, and it's also a great source of protein. So if you are removing meat from your dish, it helps substitute it a bit, which is great. So if you haven't tried any of those interesting options, then I really highly recommend. You can usually find it just in the pasta section, or usually in the health section. They'll have other ones there as well. Number 7 is crushed garlic and ginger. So I add these to most of my stir fries, or anytime I'm making some kind of savory dish. Most people, I don't know how many people know about this. I think some people don't. So instead of having to get the garlic cloves, which probably are nicer because they're fresher, and having to get the ginger and grated and do all of that stuff, I just buy it in a jar that's already done, because I'm all about ease and making things as convenient and simple as possible. So you just buy a jar of crushed garlic, which is $1 or $2, I'm pretty sure. And ginger was like $3, and that lasts you months and months. And that way you just add a spoonful of that, half a spoonful of that, and you're done, instead of just taking a while preparing everything. So it depends on what kind of cook you are. Some people like making it all fresh and like putting the time and effort into it, but I'm just like short, hard and fast girl, and just want everything done in 10 minutes, all in one pan, to make it really easy. Minimal dishes. Number 8 is, I don't know if you pronounce it cacao powder or cacao powder. I've heard people say different things. So that is the raw, unprocessed version of cocoa. It's got this rich chocolatey taste. It's actually a little bit bitter. It's great to add to smoothies, to raw slices. It's just like a healthy version of chocolate that still satisfies your cravings. So that one is great to keep in your pantry. You can also buy cacao nibs as well, so you can kind of use them as chocolate chips, although they are really bitter, so it depends on your taste buds and kind of what you like as an individual. Number 9 is sunflower and pumpkin seeds. I add these to heaps of my one pan meals when I'm doing up heaps of veggies, if I'm doing some kale, or if I'm doing it, adding it to salads, or even sprinkling on top of dishes to get them photo ready, just because it adds a lot of, it just makes the plate look really pretty. But seeds are a great source of protein, and they're also a good source of healthy fats as well, so it just makes you feel really good on the inside. I add literally like a handful of it to my food, and I feel really good having like a bit more fats maybe than the average person. So I definitely highly recommend those. Otherwise, hemp seeds are really nice too. They just are more pricey, but the pumpkin seeds and stuff, they've got like a really nice crunch to them, especially if you do it in the pan with cacao and do it till they're golden and crispy. It's just unbeatable to add to your meals. Number 10 is balsamic glaze. This is just one that I got from the farmer's market, although I did get sent one from Sticky Balsamic, and they had some beautiful sweet kind of ones. They had a quince balsamic glaze, they had raspberry, I think they even had orange and fig, and wow, it was divine. So I add that to as a kind of healthier alternative. I'll drizzle it on top of salads or avocado toast. I've said avocado toast a lot in this video. So basically any dish that you want to make look pretty, just drizzle that on top. And it's also kind of a healthy option. It does have sugar in it, but I'm just reading the ingredients. That one just has sugar, red wine vinegar, caramelized sugar, and natural flavor. And that one, well, it does have 9 grams of sugar per serve, but some people have whole creamy salad dressings with like all this mayo and all this ranch, and then it's put through the whole thing. So for me, I'll just drizzle a little bit of that on, and that's just got so much flavor that's enough for the whole dish. So I think it kind of balances everything out. And same thing as I said before, if something allows you to eat more veggies or eat more of a healthy option, then it's totally fine to have it in moderation. And yeah, number one, well, one of the main reasons, it just makes my food look so good when I take my food photos. So that's one of my little secrets. So that's everything for today's video. I'm open to suggestions of any other videos that you would like to see in the future. Let me know in the comments below if you've got any questions about anything. Otherwise, don't forget to check out the podcast. That will be linked below as well. And I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you for listening.